I do believe I was abducted 2 nights ago. I believe this because, as my dear friend said, a rash is just a rash, but back in October 23rd, 2017, when I was in the emergency room, they asked if I had any burns or rashes, was their phrase. Now, how would they know? First, I wasn't even able to communicate. And I meant to tell the doc when he came back in. I don't know if I did or not. But I got photos of the rash and where they were. It was pretty clear it was radiation burns. All things considered, I had a fever like I do now, I think. I feel like I do. Of course, if I did, nobody would tell me. I believe that's true. A lot is hidden from me for my own simplicity, so I can have some semblance of normalcy. But the rash is, it's never exciting to look at a rash, and the lighting is shit here. Hold on. I don't even know if you can see. We hold this on the rash for a minute. Just point it at.
What?
Will you point this at the rash for me?
Is that a live video?
Yeah. Alright, how about, ouch. What am I trying to show you? Where's my hand? The fuck? Way up here? That ain't working too well. There we go. Okay, there we go. Behind the ear. It's not easy to do this. For some reason. But I do believe that you can see there, to some extent, you can see the rash. It wasn't particularly easy to do. I'm a little sore from the gym yesterday, but I had a terrible headache. I had it yesterday too, I think. I'd asked somebody, but it seems I don't talk to anybody who would even know if I had a bad headache yesterday. Did I have a bad headache yesterday? I think I did. I think I was saying I had a bad headache. And I haven't had many. Yeah, I did have one yesterday. And it didn't make sense that it would have been from the gym, even though I'm overtrained. I was. Still am. But here's a theory. So, the magic carpet, being underwater. I've been to Atlantis before, just this was the most clear by far I'd ever been. I did fight some men in black under the water once. I fought probably, before the age of reason, before the garlic festival. We did a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense. But this was all in a world that I didn't understand as well. I'm not making excuses. I'm not saying I need to or I haven't. Just, just saying I've fought the men in black. I am a man in black, I guess. I think that's how it works. You fight them, and then by the time you're fighting them, you're a man in black, you know? What's a man in black? A man in the shadow world? On October 23rd, that's what they called it. The shadow world. They being the emergency room technician. Wonder if that guy lost his job for... What are you talking about? What he said? I don't think so. I feel like that whole event was like the beginning of disclosure, and they were just waiting for me to have more contact, something substantial enough that it would be worth going public with for the military as well. The Nimitz UFO was 2017 U1, the interstellar visitor. This is truth. Now, it's important to add here that the military actually did the disclosure movement a favor by fudging the dates, because the other date, the date of 2014, 2004, damn you lad!
What?
Hey, are you yelling?
No.
Alright, well don't. 2004 was, yeah you do know. 2004 is a date mentioned along with in the Nimitz UFO storyline, how the military presents it. Stop yelling, dude! Freaking women, dude. You know, they're just loud. They're loud. Yeah, but if you want the blanket, get under the blanket. Just don't, yeah, just don't yell. You're making me forget what the hell I'm talking about. It's not her fault, but I forget anyway. You know how it is. Oh. If you do, then they're all gone. You could eat something else. Anyway. Yeah, so 2004, I heard a loud popping sound. My girlfriend who was there saw a flash of light, and she said I was there and then I was gone. So 2004, same year that the Nimitz UFO the first time happened. So I guess Nimitz UFO is code for UFOs that directly interact with me on a profound manner, because that's what they are so far. This one, you know, and the words uploads and downloads, like, you gotta give a little to get a little. Like, I don't deal with, you know, I don't know, half measures. If it's a half measure type thing, then it's not my department. Which is a fancy way of saying it's not. Usually not my area of interest. It wouldn't be brought to me. It wouldn't be something I'd be involved in. At least not at this point in history where in all timelines on Earth there's a lot of bad guys that gotta get dealt with. And I think they are. I'm really tired today. Something's going on today. I mean, I'm unnaturally tired and this headache. So maybe I should say more about my older daughter. I mean, I told you that the entire 9 months I saw a dragon every time I closed my eyes, and then her mom got the dragon tattooed on her shoulder. It was a she-devil, actually. Kind of a Lilith figure, very shallow, very base, very money-oriented, not having any depth of character or soul. Anything that makes her think is too much work. My older daughter is a disappointment. I told her that when she turned 18, if she wanted to say I'm a failure of a parent, I would agree with her. And since she was part of the tanking of my life in 2018, I mentioned to a friend of mine that's helped me get through a lot of this that I had told her that, and she said, well, she never said that you're a disappointment, she never said you were a bad parent, and I was like, and it had been mentioned before that, even my daughter in court mentioned all the threats against me, and that I was concerned for her because of the threats, and she's protected by drones herself, just like we are, so that's good, so I can't take it too personal. And God, no, it's not much worse than airing family drama, but you know what, that's, if you're a celebrity or a royal, then people are going to get up in your business, and there's not much, until I can, arrange their untimely deaths, they're going to be existing, so, the bottom line is I lied to try to protect my older daughter, and I totally put my faith in the other adults and family, and it turned out all of them were terrible scumbags. And my best wasn't good enough, but I did everything I could. I did what I thought was right. Apparently I was MK Ultra and abused sexually pretty badly, and child pornography, and appears that's the type of stuff they put Maya through. I just didn't know until this year. I also didn't know that I had almost completely severed my own penis with a friggin' knife in the kitchen. So there was a lot. Yeah, I was sick, thank you. I was like 4 years old. That's so badly I was abused, though. So, when your IQ is 160 and you're surrounded by idiots, it's easier for them all to blame you for everything when they're wrong. You know, and it's all true. Don's having an issue with, you know, the truth. The truth, the truth set me free. You know, it's up to everyone else whether or not you guys ever have it in you to say the truth about anything. It's easier to lie. You think it's safer, but it's really not, you know? Because all those people that were in me and Maya's life that I considered to be family, of course, there's, you know, they want what's best. Bullshit. You know, they had pimped me out. What do you think they did with my daughter? You know? And you can't please them no matter what you do. You can try, but some people are just not good. And a lot of families in America, they were destroyed before you were born. You were born into a broken system. All of you, you know? And if you don't know it, then you're part of the disease. You know, the disease of harmful pedophilia, the disease of significant domestic violence, the disease. If you think your family's shit doesn't stink, it's probably because you stink as bad as they do. That's why the Above Majestic documentary, where they're like, and King George is gonna kill half his family. I'm like, well, if I do, it's because it's what I gotta do. It's righteous. It's not gonna be because this documentary says so. But it's gotta, you know, we gotta get things going, though. And I'm ready for Buckingham Palace. And Glamis. I gotta get to Glamis, too. So we do have to get that ball rolling here at some point. There's not any politicians that are looking out for any of you. Like public service announcements, and I mention this occasionally, public service announcements are supposed to be information that will help you as a citizen to get information which is timely or relevant to your health and circumstances. Well, like, don't smoke doesn't really seem worthy of a, you know, like a public service announcement. It's been beaten to death as a message. So, and you could say that about anything, but I was at the gym the other day, and I started going to the gym because I know my body, I know myself, I know my health, I know my soul, I know my world, and my own little world, you know, of spirituality that my body lives in and around. You understand? I know my situation about, I got my daughter's cold. She got a cold, so I decided to use her straw to get her cold, right? And it only was helpful for like 2 days because I knew how crappy she really felt, and it was a terrible cold to have. I've always done that kind of stuff, but now I'm like older, so getting other people's sicknesses just to be able to relate, I don't know if I'll be doing a lot of that in the future. But I knew I was like, I'm like legitimately gonna fucking like die, you know, like my health is like really fucking horrible, and it's obvious. And so I started going to the gym, and I couldn't even walk for a day, which is not a big deal around here because I'm pretty fucked up. But at the gym, the last time I went, a few days ago, Thursday. Chest day. Isn't it funny that guys, like, make a big deal about chest day? Like, we love boobs so much that we want to have boobs too or something. It's great. I swear everyone loves boobs. I don't think I'm going to do chest anymore because, at least not until my shoulders and arms are like, pretty friggin' ripped. Because, yeah. But at the gym, I was walking by a place that had a TV and it said in New Hampshire, heart disease is now the #1 killer. And I was like, oh, those people need to exercise. And, that lady was on the TV for like probably 5 seconds. It was probably a local station. I happened to walk by just in time to hear that. But who didn't? Just about everyone else in the friggin' world. How many people in New Hampshire? A few million? 10 million? I have no clue. I don't even care at the moment at all. I fucking hate our government in New Hampshire. Even if I'm under fucking special service, special protection, they still shouldn't have taken all my guns. Those fucking cunts. If that was a break-in attempt downstairs, if somebody came in here and fucking hurt my family and I was unable to help because I didn't have a gun, and if I survived, I would kill the politicians and the police officers that were involved. I would kill them. I would light them. I would burn them to death for violating my God-given rights. I would murder them. I hope that's like really clear that I'm like completely fucking dead serious. What they did, what they put me through by taking my Second Amendment has done far more harm to me than anyone gives a shit. It really fucked me up bad. But public service announcement. There should be public service announcements to say, it should literally just say, public service announcement. No, seriously, bro. You guys need to exercise because your heart needs to be strong enough to push blood through your body. Like real caveman basic dumb shit. Now, to help that message of basic caveman exercise so your body's strong enough to live, we need more education in school which talks about anatomy and physiology, not all the different ways to have anal sex and, fancy names for how fucked up you are. Like a triple unicorn, binary, code Mary, lupus, DiMaggio, Frankenberry is your sexuality or your fucking gender. Like, you should just say, oh, I'm retarded. There's male, there's female, and then there's like retarded. And if it's like more complicated than that, then it's like the fourth one is fucking retarded. Like I'm male, I'm a female, I'm retarded, it's complicated. You want to say it's complicated, you're retarded, okay? But if you get all like, you start jumping up and down and, sweating and you get all emotional and triggered, then you're fucking retarded. You're a fucking retard. Those are the 4 genders. There's 2. Male, female. If you're a hermaphrodite and you got a friggin' penis and a vagina, that's great. Good for you. That's pretty special. I don't know. I don't know. That's pretty cool. You could like be bisexual and still be straight. That's kind of interesting. So there's two genders, male, female, and then if it's a little bit complicated, because you got a song and dance, then you're retarded, you know. What's your male, female? No, I'm retarded. But if you get all upset about it, you're fucking retarded. There's two genders, but there's two exceptions. You know, it's complicated because I'm retarded, or I'm all upset about this because I'm fucking retarded. You know, like I could give you the greatest song and dance in the world. I almost cut off my own dick because God's neither male or female. And then they wrote a book about it. That's what they tell you why I almost cut my fucking penis off. Because that's totally normal for a 5, 6, 7 year old to cut his penis halfway off and then be like, well, God isn't male or female. You know, like, hey, I'm totally not human. You know, let me do something fucking ridiculous, almost sever my penis, and then give you a little lesson about God, which I am. You know, that's how I roll. That's how I rolled when I was 5 years old. 4 years old. I'm trying to think how old I think I actually was. 6. And you would think, maybe you would think it would be easy to get an answer to that question. My medical shit is so fucked up. I would need lawyers and, like, not FISAs, Freedom of Information Acts. I mean, everything that they're not supposed to do in medicine is what they did with me. It was really extraordinary. It was something special to see. You ain't lived till you're 18 years old and it's Christmas Eve and you're wearing a padded jacket, thrown in a padded room, and you can't move your arms. And why are you there? Because you were sleeping so much. Why are you in that room? Because you're so fucking sedated that you can't even, like, probably even follow directions. But you know what I wasn't doing? Anything aggressive. It was fucking MK Ultra. It was some shit. When people are gonna find out what the fuck happened to me. They'll know who I am. They'll know what the fuck I went through. And sometimes I'm so tired from the fight, you know. Just making videos seems effortless, but like Bruce Lee had nightmares about something coming after his son, right? And Bruce Lee was the soul, not just of China in that day, but the soul of all of China from 3,000 years of history, divinity. Like, the guy is classified. Like, he's as hard to find as I am. For real, you know. I make an interview and it vanishes. Nobody else even tries. My photos are fucking ridiculous. A photo's worth 1,000 words. Except for him. Don't fucking talk to him. That shit's fucking crazy. So if it makes me crazy, then let's blame him, because he must be a good scapegoat. And that's what that movie friggin' Birdhouse is about. My photos. People look at my photos, they lose their mind, they go crazy, so they call me crazy. You know? It's that's the sickness of humanity. Humanity is sick. Humanity is very sick. with its the psychology, and, the sociology, and the psychology, the psychiatry. Like, I was going to go to school for one of two things. One was psychology. Two was massage therapy, to be able to help people with their pain either way. But I already knew for a fact that if I went to school for psychology, I would be basically, you know, lacing up my gloves every day to argue with the professor. And I would win the arguments, but it would be a friggin' bloodbath of arguments. And I was talking with Reverend Deb and my friend, and she agreed. So, massage it was. And they don't believe in miracles. So, when I healed that chick's scoliosis, they don't like the word heal. You help the body to do something. It's like, no, bitch, I put those bones back where they belong. Carefully. Lovingly, because everything in the healing community should just be done with love. Everything should be done with love. Everything. Like, why wouldn't it be? There's only so many emotions that cause any action or help to be part of any, to accentuate, like a steroid or caffeine to enhance a situation. Love and hate are the main ones, or love and fear. But they say with God anything is possible. But really, anything's possible is the bottom line, the physical world. And this is something I learned. This was my real attempt. Like, I really didn't, people used to say to me, don't be a cult leader. I had no intention. I didn't even, as far as I know, I wasn't even saying anything interesting that a cult leader would say. And this is 20 plus years of this. People talking about me and me starting cults. And I was like, for real, why are people saying this? It made me uncomfortable. Can I have anything normal if I want to? So anyway, my massage therapy career, at my best, it was around 2012. And I was in the top 5 in America. In reality, top 5. But, the guy who I would say is probably in the top 3 was working next to me at a station, at the table next to me, and this chick had a bone out of place similar to one I have. And I was able to put it back. But right before, I had to bend her backwards on the table. It's not a normal massage position, but it's not a extraordinary position for the body to be in. And, she's no slouch herself. She's really, she assists some of the greatest instructors in America. So, she's no slouch. Her initials are MM. If she ever listens, or if you were following Eric Dalton around then, Costa Rica, then that's me giving her a shout out. So I bent her. She was face up, and face up, and pulled her legs up kind of towards her head, and twisted and rotated the body to try to isolate that segment, that region of the spine. Not to do any forceful adjustment, just to get at it and get it to move. And when I brought the legs up, the guy, he was clearly like, I mean, I generate a lot of energy. If you're around me, you're gonna know it one way or another. That's a fact. And it's really difficult for a lot of people, apparently. But I respected this guy, and I still do. And he's probably going to see this too if she does. So um, he was like, all right, why don't you guys take a break? But like, not even 2 seconds later, less than a second after he said that, I had gotten her in the right position and rotated, and all of a sudden she had a big smile on her face, and she sat up and she's like, oh my God, you fixed it. And she's like, and she checked again, and she's like, you fixed it. And we hugged and celebrated, and it was something to celebrate. But this guy next to me, who's number 2, he's easily in the top 4 in America at that point, or at least I thought so. But he just dropped right off right now. First letter, first name was P. He was supposed to be awesome, but he sees somebody doing something that, he doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is, so he feels threatened because he doesn't understand what's going on. And this is how people hinder progress. And this is why I don't play well with others if they're going to be idiots. If you're going to be on my team, you need to be exceptional. Like, truly exceptional. And in his defense, I mean, I put an elbow in her psoas. I mean, I'm not going to do any more speculating about what anyone felt. I'm telling you straight up, I was able to fix the scoliosis. And that happened. It happened in 2008. But my real point here, I mean, let's say theoretically I hadn't. It doesn't matter. Well, let's say I hadn't healed her scoliosis, right? And then she probably had an X-ray done, and I'm sure people were interested because the military was at my school soon after. The military does more than war. They do reconnaissance on American soil. For all kinds of reasons, intelligence, Stranger Things, extraordinary gifts. You get the point. I'm beating the point right into your head, aren't I? So, but let's say I hadn't healed her. I mean, that was pretty huge, I guess. But other than the fact that I did sweat a lot and that I had gone to school because I was in a lot of pain myself, my own back. I don't lay down just because I'm lazy. It meant a lot to me to learn all I could about healing so that, I don't know, I could vicariously heal myself. But my point kind of goes back to why people go to school for what they go to school for. And my point really there is about psychiatry. Like, I went to school to see why my back was so fucked up, why my body was in so much pain. Psychiatrists are insane. That's why they go to school for psychiatry. And there's no exceptions to this. There's no exceptions, none. And a good psychiatrist will say, yeah, I went to school because you know, and they probably usually are psychopathic or gifted. I'm willing to say that they're not crazy in a bad way. That they're just like gifted and they're like, what's going on with me that is so extraordinary? Why am I able to do what I do? Why does electricity react to me this way? Why do fire alarms go off when I walk by? Why does it rain briefly when I'm sad? Stuff like that. And that kind of stuff can actually seem normal to people. So, I said something nice about psychiatry. And you know what? God bless Sigmund Freud for saying he wanted to fuck his mom. Good for him. At least he was honest. You get points for honesty in the game. So I guess from now on we'll call it a game, even though to me it's been anything but a game. To me it's been something entirely different. I'm just being silly. Is that a good look for me? I was talking with a friend of mine. All my friends are females, apparently. And he was saying that when women encounter me, there's 3 responses they have: fight, flight, or fuck. Fight, flight, or fuck. I guess I bring out the aggression on them just by existing. Just by entering a room. But I believe for the next 20 years, the world will be a better place the more women are expressing how they feel, being the initiators of sexual contact and relationships, and I don't think I could stress how important this is if I tried, but I'm gonna try for a minute. So our society has been infiltrated for 70 years. When I talk about Sigmund Freud, I'm doing so because of his nephew, who is a key figure in the Century of the Self series. The Century of the Self is how psychology is weaponized. Now, this is not a simple topic, but it is. It's just separating the way that we were attacked as a people and separating how we were attacked as a people from how we were attacked so that we would be more easily categorized, and by being more easily categorized, we're more easily controlled. So if you want a great example of being Breakfast Club categorized, then watch The Breakfast Club. That movie is 5 different, whatever, the jock, the nerd, the dork, the criminal, and the weird chick. I know there was probably one more, but that sums it up. You're one of those. Or there's that movie Divergent. If you don't fit neatly in a category, now you're in trouble. So that shows how dangerous it was that there were these styles picked out to begin with, designed. And here's an example. Like I saw a therapist for a long time, and I said to him, I think I guessed what kind of car he had, a Toyota. And I said, and the car you had before that was a Subaru, wasn't it? And he literally, for the one and only time, and the whole time that we knew each other, we were kind of friends, He looked freaked out, and he thought I was breaking into his house. He thought I was spying on him. He thought I was stalking him. I believe this is what he thought then. Because how would I know what kind of car he drives? And how would I know what kind of car he had before that? Well, let me tell you. I watched this documentary called Century of the Self. My IQ is 160. I'm abstract random, which means the way I think doesn't make sense to you, but it does to me. And I'm not sequential. I'm somewhere else in time other than you. And that's difficult for me. So I'm sorry if it's annoying or difficult for you to deal with. It's really difficult for me. Because everyone I deal with is reacting to me as though I am foreign because I am non-sequential in time. And I seem to come out of left field, even though for me, I might have just arrived from a different place in time. And here I am. So he really was upset that I knew and then something happened with him months later, or years later maybe, and he was like, he said his house had been broken into, and how it was fortunate that nobody was home or something, and they didn't take anything, and I don't know where he lives, but I didn't know at the time, and now I know looking back that it stuck with him, like like me having my guns taken, that sticks, that fucking hurts way worse than anybody knows. Like, it makes me suicidal. Like, it's that fucking much of a wound that they put on me. And I wasn't suicidal before then. I was, I had one suicidal attempt when I was, 26. But since they took my guns, they made me question myself at a level of, like, soul, and they made me suicidal. Like, they almost killed me by doing that. And they may yet, like, that may still be the fucking end of me. I don't think any of us are going to be that lucky, though. I'm just saying it fucking hurt. Way worse than anybody knows. So if you take someone's guns, you might be killing them. And it means nothing to you because nothing means anything to you. You know? Then there's guys like me, few things matter to me. You take my way to protect my family, you declare me an enemy. You say my family doesn't deserve defense, I'll fucking kill you. I'll stab you in your fucking throat. I'll blind you. You did real bad shit by me. You did wrong. There's no excuse for you. But somebody had, and I think maybe he was just fucking making the story up now when I look back. Because, well, I mean, what I know of like break-ins, it was during the day. And it's usually, if it's during the day, it's somebody who, you know, is local. I mean, like real local, like lives within, basically within visual of you, enough to know your routine, know when you're home, know when you're not. That's how that stuff works. I study a lot of things. You know, so I shared this insight with him, and I actually asked for an update at some point, and it was fucking awkward. But it's like, sorry, dude, you're a fucking walking stereotype. You know? Like, you're a coach of a baseball team. You know, you make $100,000 plus a year. You wear LL Bean Light, which doesn't exist, but you wear LL Bean style clothing, but without any of the sporty, outdoorsy hiking aspect. So to me that says Subaru. If you understand psychology and first you have to understand how much people don't understand psychology. You have to understand that people don't want to understand themselves. That what scares people the most is being known. And there's this dude I knew. He meditated 3 hours a day. He says, I believe him. I believe him more than I disbelieve him. 3 hours a day, why not? He taught it too, so good for him. Plus he got some poontang that way, I'm certain. So good for him. But I said to him one day, I said, I know you. And I did. I knew him. I understood him. And I couldn't even see he was very upset. He hit it well, or maybe it was a slow anger and frustration that built up in him as he realized whatever the fuck, that he did not know himself. That's why he meditates 3 hours a day, to try to understand himself. But that's not really why he meditates. He lies to himself. He meditates to not know himself. That's what I would say. So he said to me, he's like, you know, I've been thinking, you said you know me, and that really bothers me. Because to just say to someone, I know you, you know, he went on a bit, and his tone of voice was thoughtful, like someone who meditates 3 hours a day. But he just told me basically that he didn't like that. That made him uncomfortable. And what's the first reason that would make someone uncomfortable? Because he believed me. If I say I know you, it's because I know you. And this is like a rule I have in general. If I know something, I'll say I know. If I'm not sure, then I won't say I know. So, I mean, you could say, people would say, "Oh, you got him pegged, huh? I got him pegged." But that's like what? Like, to know someone, like to know you is to hate you? Like, why would you not want to be known? And why do I try so hard to be known? Not to be famous, but to be understood. To know somebody is to understand them. To understand them is to have cared enough to understand them. To be able to get on someone's level. Like, I'm good with kids because I can get on their level. I'm good with old people because I can get on their level. I'm good with, I'd like to say geniuses, but I'm smarter than just about everybody, so it's rare that I get to talk to one that relative to me is a genius on friggin' any topic. I gotta go. Wait, what was I talking about? Century of the Self. I gotta take the garbage out. What else? Was there a point? Was there a point? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'll hear a funny story and then we'll wrap up this video. So, 2005 maybe? 2004, 2005, I'm with my band and we're standing out in front of my bandmate's house. We're drinking beer and I'm doing magic tricks. Pick a number between 1 and 10 and I'm guessing right over and over and over again with this guy, and I guess his deepest, darkest fear, and during one of the, between 1 and 10s, I guess wrong once, then I guess wrong twice, then I'm like, wait a minute, it's going to be the last number, I guess. And we kept going all the way, and I was right. And, I was like putting on a show like Houdini. And my other bandmate was standing there, and he's always been jealous of me. Unless he's like drunk or high enough that he's like, appreciating and celebrating me, which is weird. But that was really kind of cool. It's good to have those things to look back on where you know your niche. Oh, and one more that ties in too is I was sitting with a friend of mine around 2002, and he says to me, it was soon after my near-death experience. I was in a world in a world that you don't even want to know exists in any way, shape, or form. And I said, I don't even remember the topic anymore. And he says to me, after I say whatever, he says, John, people don't like it when you go into that genius mind of yours and tell them what they're thinking. And for me, that's really sad because it's like who I am and what I do, I am that I am. I also have a human body, a life. I love making love more than anything. If I could, that's what I'll be doing at some point, 5 hours a day.